If you're spending 40 hours per week behind a computer because you have an office job or you work from home, and another 8 hours driving and commuting everywhere throughout the week, and you want to undo the damages that all this sitting is doing to your body, this routine is the one for you. Because essentially, your worst posture is the one you spend most of your time in, and your next posture is your best posture. So we're going to train different qualities and ranges of motion that we don't necessarily go into when we're spending a lot of time sitting. We're gonna work the hips, a little bit of the wrist, the spine, and some shoulders today. And you can do this routine once a day, every day, or twice a day, every day. More the merrier, okay? So we're gonna start with hips. And when we start with the hips, we're gonna get in that 90-90 position. I wanna explain to you what we're doing first and the strength training protocol, then I want you to do the follow along. So we're sitting in the 90-90, drop this guy all the way back towards your trail hip, because that's gonna really allow you to get into a more comfortable position. Then, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna twist my body towards the back leg, okay? And once I'm towards the back leg, I'm going to really try to find a stretch and deep within the capsule here. Now, you can kickstand your hand back, you can be a little bit taller, you can alter your position so you really find a stretch here deep within the capsule, okay? And you might feel a little something on the other side as well. And we're gonna just spend a lot of time here. 2 minutes here, breathe in for 4 seconds, breathe out for 8. And we're gonna do something called the pails and rails. Pails and rails is a strength training protocol, and essentially what it is isometrics after a 2-minute stretch. The first set only of any pails and rails contraction, we hold a 2-minute stretch, but the second set and the third set, we're not gonna really do that, but today we're just gonna do 1 set only, okay? And we're gonna spend time here and try to relax. If you're gonna getting any medial knee pain or discomfort, you're welcome to do this. That's 100% okay. But try to really find the stretch in the capsule. Now, pails contraction is loading this hip. Essentially what I'm trying to do this, right? But because this is on the ground and the ground is in front of me, nothing is really gonna move. I'm only able to isometrically load the responsible tissues for this motion of the hip, right? And I'm gonna act after the 2-minute stretch is done, which is not, we haven't started it yet. I'm gonna press this down, externally rotate this, and imagine there's a scale underneath your ankle and you're seeing an increase on the number on that scale as I ask you to create that intensity. Rails, it's the opposite. It's this motion we're trying to do, but since I'm twisting my pelvis towards the back leg and I'm creating effort from my end range of motion, nothing is really gonna move. Only the responsible tissues for this motion are going to get fired up, okay? When we do the pails is always a slow and gradual buildup, right? So I start from 10% of my effort, go all the way to 100 if I want to, hold it anywhere between 8 seconds to 60 seconds or more. And the rails contraction is immediate. So if you worked your way up to 40%, held it for 40 seconds on the pail side, when I say rails, you go to 40% for 40 seconds, okay? Now, let's hold the stretch. So get into that position. We're gonna hold a 2-minute stretch, and we're gonna breathe. 4 seconds in, 8 seconds out. The idea here is to completely relax the nervous system as much as you can for you to be comfortable in this position. You might have a lot of resistance here, but right now you're kind of loading all those tissues, but you're trying to relax under it so we can apply the force in a safer environment, right? 90 seconds left. Breathe. And if you can get some vitamin D while you're at it, then you're ahead of the game. Because think about it, when you're sitting a lot behind a desk, your hips are always in an externally rotated position. When do you see people sit with both hips internally rotated? So this is a quality and range of motion that we tend to lose. A lot of people tend to lose it. And it's a problem because if you don't have internal rotation of your hip, it's going to give you some grief with your hip dominant movements. Your hips need to be able to internally rotate. And you can kickstand your hand back as far as you need to. You can put 2 yoga blocks under there, that's fine. But ideally, we're just spending a lot of time here and breathing and relaxing. You got 30 more seconds, and then we're gonna do the pails and rails contraction. By the way, I tried to shoot this video twice. First time the mic died. Let me see, the mic is not dead. And the second time I charged it, but I forgot to hook it up to the cable. So this is 3rd time's the charm. There we go. Ready? Give me 10% pails contraction, driving down. We're trying to create external rotation. Think about the femur rotating this way. As a result, this is driving into the floor. Ramp it up to 20%, a little bit more intense. Never pushing through any pain, okay? Alter your position if you feel pain. This is not a no pain, no gain type of situation. We never want to push through pain. Give me 30%. Now you're kind of feeling your glutes getting involved, your hamstrings maybe are getting involved, and we're loading it. Now give me 40%, and I want you to hold it for 40 seconds. I'm timing you guys here, and maintain that 40%. Okay, don't let it go to 41, don't let it go to 30, just maintain it as hard as you can. Just try to maintain it. And I know it's difficult for people to wrap their minds around, hey, what is 40%? But 40% is not going to be that much of a hard of an effort. You can hold it for 40 seconds. So if you're really struggling, maybe just turn it down a notch. And now switch to rails at 40%. We're trying to lift this up without compensating here. We're just trying to lift this using here. 40% only, don't go max effort. And then if you're a beginner, you tend to go max effort, and it's fine, but I'm just here to remind you not to do that. Keep going. You got 10 more seconds left. Keep going, keep going, keep going. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. And if you went to Cramp City, well, you arrived at the station, because you will go to Cramp City. It's completely normal. But next time when you're doing it, just shy away from the cramp about 2%. Okay? Relax. Now, gently, let's go to the other side. And one side is always going to be a little bit different than the other side, or majorly different. So, alter your position so you're in a pain-free position that you can actually feel stuff working here. Okay, I'm gonna just lean back. I'm gonna hold this position, and you can do this anywhere. You can do this if you have a space in the office. You can do this anywhere, and it's necessary. Okay, it's necessary because this is a fundamental range of motion of your hip. You need it. You need to have it. Breathe. You're at 30 seconds. After that, we're going to do spine. Now, when we do the spine, we're going to do a cat-cow or cat-camel, or whatever you call it. But we're not going to do it in a way that you're used to. We're going to try to do it segmentally. And I'll show you how that works. We're trying to go one vertebrae at a time, from the upper spine to the lower, from the lower spine to the upper. I'm going to time you for 3 minutes, and we're going to do it. But I have to just explain to you what this is, or what that is. Just to refresh your memory on what pails and rails are. Pails is driving this down. Try slow, gradual buildup. Rails is me trying to lift this off, right? By internally rotating my hip. Because you're at your end of range, nothing is moving. Pails, make sure that you drive the whole foot, the whole leg down, then rotate, so this doesn't lift as a result of you trying to externally rotate. 30 more seconds. And you can alter. right? You just scan and see what position is going to be an appropriate position for you, and we're going to hold it there. Ready? Give me 10%. 10% is very gentle load, okay? It's going to take you a minute to get there, okay? Now give me 20%. Give me 30%. Give me 40%. And hold. $20 seconds left. And if you see one side is extremely tighter, do multiple sets. Now you know what you need to work on. And this is, you know, the bare minimum you can do. You can do plenty of other stuff to really bulletproof your joints. Okay, now give me rails. 40% at 40 seconds. If you're cramping here, you can just push your body back a little bit. And you see my pelvis is not really moving. I'm just trying to create the effort with the femur rotating on a still pelvis. Ten more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very good. Great. Now we're going to do spine. I'll explain it first. So for the spine, this is kind of what people do in a lot of like yoga classes and stuff like that. But I'll explain to you what it is that I want you to do. Okay? I want us, and this is done much slower, and when we're doing it, going to do it together, you're going to do it slow too, but I'm going to do it a little bit faster so you see. I'm going to start from my lumbar spine. You know, I bring my pelvis forward. Imagine I have a belt buckle. I bring it forward, and I take my time. I pause here. Then I go a little bit forward, and I'm trying to keep the upper back in extension as much as I can in my neck until I don't have a choice to let them integrate with one another, right? And then once I reach here, I just tuck my chin in and create flexion. Now, when I'm trying to go to extension, I maintain this rounded position in my upper back as I tilt my tailbone towards the ceiling, right? Take my time, pause here, pause here, pause here, until I don't have a choice anymore towards allowing the T-spine to go through. Now we're going to do it from lumbar to thoracic because that's just going to be easier for you to understand today. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to time you, and I want you to create tension, okay? And I'm going to time you for 3 minutes. Throughout the 3 minutes, we're going to do 5 repetitions, no more, 4 to 5 repetitions. Create tension, go all the way back into extension. Squeeze your abs in that position, and then push the pelvis forward. Pause. Push it a little bit forward, scan your back. Push forward, never pushing through pain. Allow the T-spine to contribute to your overall global flexion. Get here. Now we're going to retrace. Notice, think about all the muscles in your back that are responsible. Look up, that's 1 rep. Let's go back.
Retrace your steps. And you can make this as hard as you want by creating tension in your body as you do this, right? 2 reps. Really feel your abs squeezing. Yep. Back into flexion. Let that spine move like butter through air. This is a wonderful drill that you need to be doing every day, especially for the spine. The segmentation is so important. One last one. Really squeezing the abs here as you create that flexion. Allowing it to contribute and then tilt. Great. Now you can sit on your heel, okay? And if you can't sit on your heel, completely fine. You can put a block under your butt like this, or 2, or even lean forward. And then we're gonna move our shoulder blades. Now when you do this, okay, I want you to teach your body how to glide your shoulder blades on your rib cage. I don't want any flexion, extension of the spine. I want independent motion of the shoulder blades. And I don't want you to bend your elbows as you do this. So first, we're gonna squeeze the shoulder blades together, paying attention to our elbows. Then I'm gonna drive it all the way up to my ear. Then I'm gonna push away, drive it down. Okay, you ready? Now, all of that, we're gonna do 4 reps, and then we're gonna retrace our steps for 4 reps. So we're gonna go back, up, forward, down, back, up, forward, down, and then forward, up, back, down, okay? Pay attention to everything. And the 3rd time you're gonna do this is gonna be better than your 1st time, and the 12th time you're gonna do this is gonna be better than your 3rd time. So don't beat yourself up about it if everything is just trying to move together. All right, now we're gonna squeeze back, squeeze, notice what it feels like. Go up, push, down, squeeze, up, push, down, squeeze, up, push, down, squeeze, up, push, down, squeeze, retrace, push, up, back, down, protraction, elevation, retraction, depression. 2 more, protraction, elevation, retraction, depression. 1 more, protraction, elevation, retraction, and depression. Wonderful. The next exercise I want us to do will be for your shoulders, and the next one is going to be for your wrists. So for the shoulders, you're going to grab a block or a book, you're going to put it on the ground, okay? One arm is going to go on the block, and you're going to actively press down onto the block, but this is the working hand, okay? Now, from here, I want to explain this first. The explanation is very important. From here, you're going to lift this up, open to the side. Here, you're going to rotate internally. So when you reach here,
The pinky is aiming forward. That rotation is everything. Then we're going to go back all the way in the pain-free zone. Once you reach your roadblock, then you're going to rotate the other way, and the thumb is going to be facing up.
1 mile per hour, very slow. If you do the cars class that I have, it's a 45-minute class, you're going to get familiar with these different rotations that we do as well a little bit better. You're going to build more awareness, but the rotation is very, very important, so pay attention to it and go 1 mile per hour. If this is impossible for you to lift off from, do it from here. Completely fine. Now, from here, press this down, create tension in your body. We're going to do 4 repetitions each side. I want you to lift off, open, rotate, rotate, rotate. Pinky forward, lift, externally rotate, and make sure that your forehead is not trying to make a dent in the ground as you try to lift this up, because that's a compensation with your neck. Rotate, 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 lift, externally rotate, come forward. 2 more reps. Lift, open, create that rotation, maintain, maintain, maintain. Retrace, down, 1 more left, lift, open, rotate, 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 and retrace, lift. There we go. Now we're going to train the other side. And you've successfully challenged your shoulders in flexion, extension, rotation, abduction, all of it in this exercise, right? Your shoulders are going to love you for it. Remember, don't go through anywhere that is going to cause you pain. Back off from that range of motion. All right, so again, we're going to put this down, and you're going to lift, open to the side, rotate, 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 rotate. The pinky comes down. And then you retrace the steps. That's 1. Open, rotate, retrace. That's 2. Open, keep going, retrace. That's 3. Last one. Lift, open, rotate internally. Retrace. Great job.
That's the shoulders. Now for the wrists, this is what we're going to do. First, I want us to just move the wrist a little bit in flexion, extension. Notice what it feels like. Then I'm going to do a car, then I'm going to switch to the other side. So extension of the wrist is here. Flexion of the wrist is here. Now when you do this, a lot of people tend to do what? They tend to bring their fingers into it. Don't bring your fingers into it. This is a wrist exercise. So just maintain this position, go into extension all the way and into flexion. Let's go 2 more reps here. Without bringing the fingers into it, okay? Good. Now we're going to add some rotation into it. How is that done? I'm going to place this here because I don't want my elbow to move, okay? I want this to be a wrist movement in isolation. And the way I do this is I go all the way down, I tilt a little bit, and then I bring it up in a tilted position until I reach here. I just tilt a little bit this way, that's it. I don't have any more, and I go down. And I'm gonna just do it like this. And then I'm gonna retrace my steps too. So I'm gonna do 2 reps on one side, 2 reps on one side, the other wrist, 3 reps like this, and then the cars, okay? So let's go down, tilt just a little bit, and then bring up. Once you reach here, just a little bit here, boom, all the way down. Tilt, all the way up, just a little bit down, then we're going to retrace our steps. Tilt the other way, bring up. Tilt. There we have it. Now, let's go again. Extension, flexion, extension. Keep the fingers out of it. Flexion, that's how it would sound like if I was training you in person. And flexion. Now, let's add them all together. Extension, tilt a little bit, bring it up. 1 mile per hour. And in the beginning, everything wants to move together. Don't beat yourself up about it. Practice makes perfect. Now let's retrace your steps. All right. Now, we're going to do an eccentric for wrist extension, okay? So, I'm going to go here, okay? And I'm going to, from here, I'm going to attempt to do this. Because the ground is in front of me, I'm loading all this tissue around here, right? Because I'm trying to do this, but I'm not able to. As I load this, I push my body forward while I maintain that load, right? I maintain it, all the way go to my end range. I relax and come back. It should take you 5 seconds for all the way back to, from all the way to the front to your end range of motion for you to take to get travel this distance, okay? So, if your end range is here even, let it take 5 seconds. If your end range is here, still let it take 5 seconds. And we're gonna do 5 reps. Load. Now let's go 1001, 1002. Don't bend your elbows. 1003, 1004, 1005, and relax. Go back. Load 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, and relax. That's 2. 3 more reps. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 3, and go back. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, and relax. Let's go 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, and relax. So there you have it. This routine works your wrist a little bit, works your shoulders, your shoulder blades, the whole spine, and works your hip in an internally rotated position where I don't think is going into on a day-to-day basis if you're spending a lot of time in these closed-off positions. So give it a try. You can do it a couple times a day, and after 6 weeks, let me know how you feel. And if you enjoyed this video, please smash the like button, subscribe to my channel, and I'll be adding more videos on a weekly basis. Till next time, stay supple. Peace.